been 16 years, 16 long years, but it's been more than 5 decades of revolution and about 200 years of fighting for our independence. So we will be there always for the revolution. I want to thank you all. As Rob said, for many years the Friends of Cuba, Friends of the Revolution, have been working hard here in the UK for the liberation of the fight and to support the Cuban Revolution. This is a victory, a great victory, not only of the Cuban people, but of the Friends of Cuba all around the world, and especially here. You were capable, able to influence in the US public opinion, and that was important for their liberation. They are back in Cuba and they are completely integrated now in the revolution, fighting for our different causes. This is not the end, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. And I promise you, because Raúl Castro promised and Fidel Castro promised, Guantanamo will be back.
Yes.
Together we'll defeat the blockade. And Cuba will be socialist forever.
Yes. The exemplary behavior of the Cuban Five. Were there ever such political prisoners as these 5 men, who, even being incarcerated, even with little hope in some cases of life meaning life, still maintained their solidarity with other struggles across the world, from Palestine and beyond. And as Rob also said, they were able to do that because they weren't alone. They had the support of the Cuban people. And that the new rapprochement, or whatever it turns out to be, between the Cuban people and the United States has come on the back of the Cuban government, the Cuban people making no concessions at all to the United States. The Americans blinked first, and that is something for us to celebrate. But it doesn't mean it's over. Of course, the blockade is still there. They will try every other which way to undermine the Cuban Revolution, but I have complete faith in the Cuban people and the Cuban leadership to maintain Cuba, as compañera Teresita says, to maintain Cuba as a socialist country for the indefinite future.
Just a few days after that historic 17th of December, when we were out, we heard the news and we were celebrating, a few days later the US Congress announced $11 million to be used to fund anti-Cuban organisations and campaigns inside and outside of Cuba. The policy of regime change continues. The tactics may be slightly different. And we in the Cuban Solidarity Campaign want to be clear that the campaign must go on to defeat the blockade once and for all, and to develop a society or an understanding that Cuba wants to develop its society in its way, in its chosen path, according to its laws, its sovereignty. And they have that right to do so free from external aggression.
Just to say how fantastic it is to be here to celebrate the release of the Miami 5. I've got to say that was the best Christmas present ever. You know, when you look back and you think about it, all of those emails, all of those petitions, all of those vigils, whether it was sunshine or rain, all of that organisation, that is proof. Let's remember, proof, solidarity works.
The 17th of December, when finally the 5 were free, and when you see some of the video, and you see some of the hugs, and you see some of the incredible scenes in and around Cuba, it really was, as Francis said, the most incredible Christmas present that anyone associated with this campaign could have ever foreseen. It was even more unbelievable when, you more than likely don't know this, but those families, particularly the three families that, you know, hadn't seen their son and their two husbands for 16 years, did not know when they walked into that government building in Havana that they were going to see their family members. They thought they were going for a meeting over the 56th year of the revolution and a variety of other things, and when they walked in, it was the first time they knew that they saw their families again. And as Elizabeth Ramon's husband said to me, Tony, I thought it was a ghost, I thought it was a miracle. And as you saw when she was kissing him, I don't know whether you've seen the video, Jesus Christ, it was quite amazing when, of course, she saw Ramon for the first time. I had the privilege of visiting Ramon last year in Kentucky. Not the worst of prisons that I've visited, but a man that's not well, and I'm so pleased to see him now getting ready for his 2 knee operations. But just drifting back slightly, before I come right back to the beginning, there is absolutely no doubt that the solidarity movements, the tremendous experience that Rob and the team put on here when we were at the Barbican and the like. By the way, I'd like to take just 30 seconds to say, one comrade who should be with us tonight is Bob Crow. Yeah. No mix here, another good comrade. But that, strangely enough, that night at the Barbican was the last active night for that fantastic union leader and a fantastic personal friend before he passed away on the Monday morning. So Bob, we got there, baby, we got there. Both what we did there and indeed a couple of years earlier in Canada. But I'm going to share, as I said, some personal moments with you that we've not been able to share. Rob and Natasha know, because we've become brotherly as well over this last 8 or 9 years. But let's talk about over 6 years ago in Canada, when Amita and Olga and Adriana were in a private room with myself and the then leader of America's largest union, Andy Stern, and indeed the union leader, the president of the Canadian Union, the USW, United Steelworkers, my sister union. When on that day, a comment was made, or it's 2 comments really, by Andy Stern. I'd like to apologise to you 3 on behalf of my country for the way they've treated you. But in 30 days' time, you will visit your husbands for the first time in 12 years. That was a magic moment. So solidarity, yes. Politics, absolutely. The bravery at last of an American president to do the right thing partially on Cuba results in us all being happy campers tonight. And trust me on this, when we see all the families on the 23rd of March, along with the Americans and the Canadians, with our solidarity groups from Britain, absolutely, who are the leaders in this, but from Canada and America, who have done wonders in this. When we meet all them families, we'll give you their very best wishes. But trust me on this has got to be one of the happiest days, personally, of my life, and I'm so much looking forward to it. Thanks for everything, everyone.